Australian bush poetry is, first of all, it must have rhyme and it must have metre. So, and basically it can be about any subject at all. And what I do is I perform bush poetry. So I'm not reading or anything, it's all from memory. Now the first one I'd like to start with, actually, I'm sure there's some ladies here who can remember washing days before there was any washing machines. I'll see a few nods, yes. I can't remember back that far, but when I was bachelor, first of all, my first washing machine was an old Simpson, and with the old ringers on the top. I've got myself in a few tangles at times, but anyway. This is a poem written by Bob Magor, Grandma's washing machine. Our old grandma was tough. In her time she lived rough, as the lines on her face did attest. She'd shared her hard life, been a workmate and wife. On the farm she'd given her best. 12 kids she had reared. She had nurtured and cared, dealing daily with washing galore. Now with her copper she'd cope. Some bags of blue, some velvet soap, and a washing board helped with the chore. Now through the years her brood thrived. Hordes of grandkids arrived, and then the power found its way through the scrub. So to keep the clothes clean came a washing machine, a mechanical, newfangled tub. Now Gran thought at top shelf, see, it worked by itself, stirring backwards and round and about. But the thing she'd not swap was hung over the top. 'Twas a ringer to squeeze the suds out. Now this new marvel worked fine. Loads of clothes choked the line. Grandpa said it was fun now, not work. But none could foresee Gran's destiny. In the wash-house, now danger did lurk. Now first, to set the scene right, I'll describe Grandma's plight with respect, and in no way bad taste. But all those kids she did rear left her boobs past repair, and she wore them both down by her waist. Now it's not my intent to lampoon the event or to have fun at Grandma's expense, but the ringer one day sent her wash plans astray, as it ate through her out to defence. As Gran fed the clothes through this new ringer's slow tube, her check apron caught up in the wash, and she yelled out in fright as it pulled her up tight in towards the advancing slow squash. But just when she thought she was fatally caught, the tie around her waist did succumb, and she sighed a long breath, safe from fate worse than death. But the worst was by far yet to come. For the next to insert was the front of her shirt, then her long string of beads followed too, and she pulled back in vain as the shirt took the strain. In slow motion it all rolled on through. A full frontal attack. Poor Gran arched her back as her singlet caught up in the chase, with her feet firmly braced, until her boots, from round her waist, got caught up in that churning embrace. Well, there was sweat on her brow. She released such a howl that the glass in the window fell out. And the high pitch of her curse somehow triggered reverse, and her chest and the clothes rolled back out. Now I suspect her boobs hurt, because when she lifted her shirt, they were chafed and beginning to bruise. And Gran, in a flap, hung them under the tap, rolled out flat like the tongues of her shoes. And Grandpa ran with the rake, because he was sure she'd yelled, "Snow!" But the sight he beheld made him gape. And us kids stood in awe, walking in through the door. watching Gran squeeze her boobs back to shape. Now I've heard since you both sounds of trouble and strife, like two tomcats out having a scrap, or screams of curlews that cry in the dark northern sky, or a rabbit just caught in a trap. But all fail to compare to when Gran split the air with the squawk of an opera singer, and the Richter scale proved that the earth really moved when Gran caught her boobs in the ringer.